sticks and stones may break my bones, words won't hurt me is bullshit.
But,
words will hurt you.
Totally agree.
And especially someone behind you. All right, you guys, welcome to Overanalyzed.
Hi.
Today we're talking about Real Housewives of Salt Lake
City, episode 9.
Episode 9, season 6.
I'm going to start off with a statement here.
Yes.
Because I emotionally am in distress about how I feel, in particular about one cast member after this episode.
Todd, being a swinger?
No, I don't care about him.
Okay.
Britani. How do I go from being, I can't stand her pea brain, not to use Meredith's words, and then the second half, I'm like, fuck, do I? But I actually felt really bad for her a lot.
Well, there's two parts to that. The beginning of the episode, I loved when they tossed the unicorn. Bronwyn and Meredith went and tossed the unicorn. I like that Meredith did not slam her hand in the door like Angie did when they got dressed up.
I'm
the
so
episode
tired
before.
of those inflatables.
No, I love them. I think
Do
they're
you?
so funny.
I'm like, I don't get it.
If you were like, I'm coming on reality TV, what's going to be my thing? I'm going to be known for the outlandish inflatables.
I love the thought process. I love that. But
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we did this with Angie. We don't
her
need to do it again.
anchor dress in the halfway, I was like, she commits to a theme. Bronwyn,
She does.
I love it. I love it.
She really does. I do love her.
So I'm watching it and I'm like, Britani, okay, this is funny, but it's also funny that she hadn't missed the unicorn this whole time.
I know, actually, until they left. Yeah, that's true.
She's like so upset about it. And I was like, he doesn't even say I love you. He says you are loved.
Which is creepy.
No, which is so non-committal. He does not like you.
Right, it isn't. But it is creepy. Like, you are loved.
But
like,
then,
what do you, Mel Robbins?
I know. To be bullied on a plane and for people to pull your hair and shake your seat, that is so far beyond. I mean, she talks about how the stewardess kept coming over and asking her if she needed anything, and I'm assuming she asked her to move her chair.
Yeah.
But even if she didn't, that is so
violation.
It's beyond rude. It's beyond petty. It's like demoralizing because you're stuck on this plane.
Very.
And then everybody else was asleep. And so like I'm waiting for the flashback of them saying like, no, Whitney said something or Mary said something or somebody asked somebody something. I just think it's just so unfair because like sticks and stones may break my bones, words won't hurt me is bullshit. But words will hurt you.
Totally agree.
And especially someone behind you.
Very badly.
All this stuff. How dare you?
Especially from people you think are your friends.
Especially from people you think are your friends. But then also, I think I finally realized that Meredith enjoys her husband because I feel like if all of that was about her saying, I love my life and I don't want my husband to be cheating and this is how I am expressing my frustration. It's not acceptable, but it is. I was like, okay, at least she cares about something.
To give you a little bit of context, this is not the first time. Well,
he's cheated.
This has been a topic a little, not to this extent. Yeah. Because they did take, like, they almost got, like, broke up at one. I forgot what season. I don't think it was season 1, maybe 2 or 3. I can't remember. But then they got right back on track. And it seemed like it was more like a communication thing. Yeah. But there's been rumors of, like, cheating and all that kind of stuff previously. But
on his side.
On his side. Well, no.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to have to play you that scene from season 3, I want to say. It was an explosive scene. This is you kind of hear it referenced with Heather. She's like, Meredith can keep forgiving Lisa when she spent all the did digging on her. It's because there was this whole scene where they're at, I think it was season 3. There was a dinner. They were not in a good place. Meredith and Lisa are going at it. Remember, best friends for 20 years, whatever. And she has a hot mic moment. So she's talking to producers, and Meredith has fucked everyone in New York. Yeah. It was like a whole thing. And that's why Heather keeps saying, like, you can forgive Lisa. It was really horrible what she did. It was on and on and on. So it's been in the ether. I was on Twitter, Instagram, looking at what people are saying, and it's very divided. And I'm on the side of, why are you this triggered if there's nothing there? And they said, I forgot who said it. Someone said on the episode today, or this episode. Yeah. And I'm like, what? And I agree with that. Like, no, I can just be an angry bitch sometimes. Where I'm like, if you're talking about me and like I'm over it, I can lash out, I suppose, to some extent. Not like that where I'm gonna fight with you on an airplane. So there is a conversation to be had. It's like,
I wish she would have fought with her in an airplane, not just kicked her seat.
Yeah.
For even if it was only 30 minutes, because at the end of the episode, Meredith is sitting with Mary and she's like, okay, let's say it was 30 minutes. 30 minutes of an adult woman.
I don't care if it was 5 minutes.
Your chair.
Yeah. Totally.
And saying, just show me the thing, show it on your phone, just show it to me. And you are literally trapped
on a
floating tube. Nowhere to go besides possibly switching your seat. Yeah. And someone next to you, Lisa, is sitting there saying, give it to her. We don't believe you.
You fucking screwed up. Yeah.
when her husband or Meredith sees the rewind of them in the car and she's eating her Wendy's, I was like, oh my gosh.
She got paid.
And she's talking about, I didn't say anything. I was sitting
I know,
there, Meredith
liar.
was going off.
Liar.
No, it was more than that. I was like, she's pathological.
Yeah.
I was like, I think she would lie to you about the color shirt she's wearing right now. I was like, I don't even think she knows when she's lying. Because, like, we can argue about whether lying is ever good, but people mostly lie to make themselves look better.
Yeah. Yeah, in general,
but ma'am, there are cameras.
You're on reality TV.
And also, it almost looks like she doesn't even know that she's lying. Like, your husband had no reaction because he probably knows you're a liar. And then I'm like, I hope Meredith sees this at the reunion and it's just like, what the fuck?
I'm so baffled. And so my question for you, before we get into all the details of the whole episode, but I think you kind of answered it. But one of the other things I keep seeing online is people divided whether or not they believe the women or not. Basically, are they team Meredith or team everyone else? Okay. Because there's no, I guess production was on the plane. No one has any iPhone receipts, footage. And I kind of agree with that. And I'm like, there's nothing unless maybe there is a bystander that has it and won't release it, or who knows. But not even like a producer on the plane, like, oh fuck, we gotta get a snippet of this. So I agree with that. However, I do believe it happened just the way that they all are saying.
Well, there's a two-part to that. They give you a good amount of grace in first class. And you have a good amount of room. So if you are kicking someone's seat, they don't come and walk around you and talk to you the same way. You only have 2 chairs. You're not going to have 3 people. So there are a lot less people watching. Towards the last part of the episode, they do show where they were sitting. Yeah. Right? So Mary is on this side near the window. The girls were right there behind Britani.
I think that point alone validate that I believe this all happened.
Yeah.
But when Meredith was telling Mary, like, you were on the other side of the plane, bitch, she was right on the... She was in if I was in Mary's seat, I would have to look left
across Angie,
over
the hall,
like this way. That's all. She wasn't like on the complete other side of the plane. I'm like, Meredith, shut up.
But that's because they weren't saying like Britani's not right here, and I'm yelling at you. You suck. You suck. There's a chair. There's a gap. There's a chair. If you're right there, I can't believe you. You bitch. You liar.
That's enough.
And it can just be loud enough for her to hear and still.
It is a plane. It's not like we're in a ballroom.
And I don't believe they were yelling, but I do believe
like maybe a couple octaves higher than a normal. Yeah.
Even if it
she wasn't
they could
screaming.
be talking like we are, and you would hear the person in front of you. Yeah. And so I'm just like, who terrorizes someone for 30 minutes?
Meredith Marks, apparently.
And also, does she know she's doing this? Because this kind of feeds into what Britani said about you going off the handle. I don't like her saying you have seizures, but it kind of feeds into like, are you doing things and you don't even know it? Right.
It's definitely a play on words. At the end of this episode, I was reflecting. I'm like, fuck, sorry, Britani. I do like you, I think. But I'm going to call a spade a spade. You were kind of like a ding-dong. And I kind of like played you off in that way. But I'm like, wow, is ding-dong Britani right this whole time?
I don't know, because I still feel like she was more upset about the unicorn than she was about her daughters not speaking to her.
And
I didn't like that either.
I'm still conflicted on that. And I think the only rationale that I have, it's not an excuse. It's nothing. I'm not even a parent. So I don't feel like my opinion holds too much weight compared to others. Maybe like yours, you're a parent. However, I'm like, well, devil's advocate, if she has some sort of like mental health issue with like her self-esteem or something, like some sort of issue there, it doesn't excuse, because I think that's so deeply horrifying and sad regardless. Yeah. If you're in a shitty headspace and you have very low self-esteem, like to the like no low self-esteem, like no esteem.
Right, yeah.
That I don't want to say I can see it, but you can start understanding that somebody who's not like all there mentally, maybe that's
the
part
man
of it.
subsidizes it for you.
Yeah, to some, and it doesn't make it right or okay or anything. It doesn't excuse it, but you have made some really shitty choices.
Or she likes her romantic relationships more than she likes being a mother, and her kids are grown now, and so she might just be like, "You're an adult now,
so
chalk it up,
from it, or
like
something.
Let it go." I mean.
Yeah,
we're not saying that it's right, but I was just like, she was legit in tears over that unicorn. But I thought it was so funny that they had recaptured it and they never told us. Yeah. But I don't think you're allowed to just throw things off of a yacht, because like.
Well, the whole time I kept thinking, because after they threw it, they would have the cameras on the water showing the turtles, and I'm like, that's littering. They better grab it. And obviously they did, because they came after her. Which I was hoping for. I'm like, they are not going to leave that in the water.
Because clearly there's a camera crew following them as they toss
They would get probably so much heat for that. Like, you're littering in
or like
beautiful
Captain
water.
Jason might have.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. So, I mean, we'll talk about it. But let's start from the beginning. The morning on the yacht when they do yoga. I'm like, also...
So this ties in because Brittany's talking about it there, where she's like, I told her that out of the kindness of my heart.
Well, they're like in downward dog. And I'm like...
While you were drunk, you spewed this out?
Yeah.
I don't think so. And so Brittany's not close to Meredith.
No.
Correct?
Meredith hates her.
Well, I mean, before this
they've
episode...
never been close.
There was really nothing that happened at yoga except that Heather.
It was also kind of like they're talking about it, and Whitney's like, "You're disturbing my peace," and I'm like, "Yeah, why are you guys talking about this right now?" Yeah. And I also thought, interesting, Captain Jason.
Because Brittany cannot read a room.
Cannot read a room. But I'm like, wow, he has a Yoda certification too.
Listen, I think you have to be like full
I bet he's
service.
so good in bed. He's so hot.
I didn't think he was handsome until the yoga.
Really? It's the accent that gets me, and then I'm like, you are handsome.
Well, he has nice legs. I was like, yeah,
and a nice smile. Legs. He was on Watch What Happens Live this week. He had like black frame glasses. I was like, you were so sexy.
Well, here's the problem. I didn't think he was attractive because I couldn't understand his accent, and then I realized when we were rewatching it, it says down under, like he's Australian or they're in. Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's an Australian accent or something. I was like, I always thought he was British. So I was like, what is this accent? Yeah. Okay. So that helps. Yeah. They're at yoga.
Angie, Whitney, Heather, and Brittany. Meredith and Lisa are obviously bullshitting with each other. And I'm like, is Lisa like in a towel? And she's like, maybe because I just can't stand both of them. I'm hypercritical. Because I'm like, what are you doing? You're just laying in the bed naked in a towel.
You would do that with your girlfriend.
I would. I would do it in my bed. I would.
Yeah. And Meredith looked like she had just woken up. So she probably had just got out of the shower and she's in there and they're talking.
And to that point, so I'll say this too. Up until...
That actually looked like real friendship.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. It did. Well, I don't know.
You just don't like her.
No, I don't like either of them. Yeah. And up until that point, I'm also Team Meredith at this point. On this argument still. Until later in the episode, I changed tactics here. She's like, she thinks she's a Disney princess, and you know what? She has a mind of one too. And I'm like, I thought that was kind of funny.
That was funny.
I'm like, it's so sad because they're like 50-year-old women.
Because they're like teenagers. They're like 15-year-olds.
And then that is what
planning
it was.
how to like pick on the next girl.
That's exactly what you had. Lisa just like chilling in bed like she's 15 and her towel and her tits and stuff.
And I was just like, I would not have let that conversation go that long. I just would have jumped in so many times, and I don't know if they just cut it, because later on Whitney says, she says, I told Brittany to tell you, I would tell her, or something else. And so, but I think I just would have been more vocal with mine.
So you, at least in that instance, you agreed with Meredith that to be like kind of pissed with Whitney. That went over my head. I was like, why is she pissed with Whitney? What does she have to do with this? Now that you say it that way, I guess I can...
Yes.
Kind of understand, but I'm like, I don't think Whitney and Meredith being that close where I would like, you bitch did not stick up for me. Like, where did that come from?
Because Whitney jumps in to say, oh, well, I saw the TikTok too. And so then Meredith's like, oh, you're sharing it with me?
And they show that scene of them watching it together.
She's like, you're personally the one sharing it, which is shitty. And so
But she wasn't, though.
But like, I'm not close to you. If I'm Meredith, I'm not close to you, Brittany.
Right.
And so you find out that my husband allegedly is cheating on me and has somebody in a whole other state. You tell someone else we know and you two cackle about it, and then you mention it here while you're drunk at a party
with all the other girls
at a zombie party on a boat.
Say in another universe, say it was true. She wouldn't share that with Brittany.
And so, yes, I'm going to look towards the person that I actually have a relationship
Meredith,
with.
I'm just going to tell you, she is rubbing me.
When the fuck did you know this?
She has rubbed me so hard the wrong way in this whole episode because
I know. Bronwyn and Meredith, they go and they take the Jared unicorn, they toss it. The you are loved unicorn, which she has rubbed me. She's not even saying I love.
I know. Was it funny? As the words are it kind of is. To a certain extent, yeah. Again, I did a lot of reflection after every scene. Because that scene when Bronwyn goes in, checking on her with the stupid ass unicorn. Meredith was like almost like salivating to do. She was. And that
she
also
was like, what else can we do?
Right. That seems so
childish.
Yeah, but like beyond. I'm like, you are like a 50-something-year-old woman. You got like kids, and if you have such a blessed fucking life.
You would have thought they had a history of hatred.
Yeah. And I'm like, you need a therapist.
But the Botox wouldn't let her face express.
Her body did look great.
But her body was saying, let's go. And her face was still stoic.
Yeah. And I just did not like that. Yeah. So they get in their blow-up uniforms that you love, and I'm over it.
Well, because that is funny. To take a unicorn that we know they're going to fish out of the ocean.
And blow up.
And toss it while we're dressed in silly costumes. Bronwyn's talking about, I'm gonna pee in the lobster.
Here's the thing.
That was funny, haha.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yes.
And not funny
as a viewer,
for Britani, right? Because later on, Whitney's like, you thought she would think that was funny? Here's the thing.
As a viewer, yeah.
But as someone who has not seen Meredith literally speak for herself all season, I was like, she has a personality.
Well, okay, I will give you that because you're totally right. Because I was actually surprised that Meredith did that.
Oh, she would have normally been like,
yeah, she's like wet paint. I'm like,
okay.
I'm like, wow, she really was like.
No, I thought that was.
But then I was thinking about it again to overanalyze it. I'm like, wow, you are a really sad adult that you were so pissed at this chick, and you cannot wait to seek revenge. Very immature revenge.
I know.
As I'm saying all this, it all sounds actually really childish.
All of it is so stupid. Question for you.
Okay.
In episode 8, Bronwyn and Angie put on costumes, but they don't go anywhere because Angie slams her hand in the door. Do you think she would have tossed the unicorn the day before?
I don't know. I found that funnier because they did that intentionally to go scare Heather or something, and that is like a funny thing.
I think Bronwyn probably had a deeper plan.
You think
I think
so?
they were going to toss it then.
If that was the plan that they said on the show that she was literally, I do find that hilarious. That's
do you think Angie would have participated?
Oh yeah, well she clearly was. They're all going to.
No, I mean if they went and got the unicorn, it was like we're going to go toss it.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. And even Angie, when they got to the airport and they're like, "Who threw it?" She's like, "Why did you do?" I remember she was like questioning, like, "Why would you do that to her?"
Because it's a stuffed animal with your ex-boyfriend's voice on it.
I don't think I would throw it overboard. I would probably take it and not tell her I took it. That's probably what I would do.
Which, now that I'm thinking about it, I thought they tossed it the day before, but they probably tossed it that morning and then retrieved it and gave it to her.
That was the first thing they did, yeah.
She's like, why is it down?
It was after yoga. After the girls did yoga. Or it was before breakfast.
Yeah. For her to have been having the girls toss water on her for the last 2 days whenever she mentions his name, to be in tears over the stuffed animal,
they really
I didn't think that fit.
While Britani does not make the greatest decisions, you have to admit, at least this trip alone, they really fucking hazed her. To your point, the throwing in the water... she opened that can of worms with Meredith, yes.
But I think that shows how much they terrorized her on the plane, because she's been laughing off all of these things.
And I was going to say, the
comments of the hair.
I think for that to be the end result of the trip,
it must have been so many more levels above.
Yeah.
And I feel like there is footage, and I think we will start to get it.
Maybe at the reunion.
Even if it's just audio, even if it's not video. But I also kind of hope there isn't any, because they really were asleep and they really didn't know how bad. So I'm really split.
Or I hope it is. They said that production was on the plane, or a producer. I don't know if they went how detailed they went, but they made it clear. Or I think it was Lisa that said there was a producer on the plane.
Yeah.
Now that you just said that, I'm going to make a prediction for the reunion. By the time they film the reunion, the season's still ongoing.
Oh.
So they film the reunion while the show is still on. Let's say if there's 17 episodes, they might film it while we're on episode 15.
Oh wow.
But they will give them the remainder of the episodes prior so they can watch them. However, they're going to do this on Orange County. They did it on another cast and they didn't show them.
Okay.
And they started the reunion by going, "We didn't show you the complete end season finale." And they watched it live for the first time. And so they're about to do that on Orange County. We have seen it.
And you probably forgot what you said.
Right, exactly. So you see all the things that... I have a prediction, to your point, where you just said that when the reunion comes, they're going to have... While there's been speculation about this plane trip, we actually do have footage and they'll play it. And someone is going to get validated.
But even as you're speaking, I'm thinking about Bronwyn and her husband and someone accusing him of looking at pictures of women. Somebody might have been over their shoulder. They can find out who else was on the plane and say, "Hey, did you get some video?"
Yeah.
So maybe,
I
mean, it's hard to stick up for an adult and to be like, "Stop picking," because then you're minimizing my own voice and do I want to speak up? It is hard. There's definitely a line.
This is kind of related,
but I'm also hoping that if it was as bad, they were actually asleep and nobody just let it go.
Meredith.
That's hard.
Meredith does make a valid point in the sense that.
Air Marshal's not coming.
You don't think so? I feel or something's gonna happen. I think so. These
she
days,
would have to be pouring a drink on her.
Well, they say that they spilled wine on her.
Oh,
yeah, they said
that part. Think about this,
it got on
airplane. People have sex on planes. Yeah. Married couples argue on planes. It would have to be harming the other people around you. Now, the shaking the seat, maybe some of that. Kids kick chairs all the time, so it's not going to be a couple kicks.
I get that. I think when adults are fighting, in the manner that they're making it sound, at least.
Yeah.
My good friend's a flight attendant for like 10 plus years. It is no secret. Planes these days are a whole nother fucking ball game. Yeah. I've seen so many videos of people acting a fool that they are like, since COVID, we are not tolerating this shit. People spitting. Yeah. With that being said, someone must have footage at the minimum. But I do believe someone would have stepped in, like flight attendant, captain, someone, if is that intense as they're saying. I agree with you. It's probably not yelling or screaming. It's probably like a stern, like, agitating voice where like, I'm not gonna yell at you, but it's like condescending and a little higher than it needs to be.
Okay, I don't know though. If you're on a plane and you're not sitting with your friend, Brittany was sitting next to a stranger or someone who wasn't in the cast.
Right. That's true. Yeah, that's right.
Crying.
Did that person do anything?
They would keep coming over. They come over all the time. Where's your drink? Do you need this? Do you need more soda? If you're sitting there crying, they will come and talk to you. And I wonder if the crying was, did they at least quiet down when the flight attendant came over? Yeah. Like, there's a lot of gaps.
Well, and I think
there's a lot of gaps.
I wonder if there's more detail, because Brittany did say when she sat with Heather that the flight attendant kept telling her, like, Mrs. Bateman, like, are you okay? Do you need anything? And all she asked was for water. So I suppose that there is that. Now, here's
what are you supposed to say?
If it was me, I'd be like, this fucking bitch that I work with.
Your friend that you're traveling with.
Well, she's not her friend. Meredith's not her friend.
But if you were Brittany, what would you say?
Look what Brittany... if I'm Brittany, I have no idea what she...
I don't know. I think she would say, I'll just take water.
Well, you know what? It sounds like...
she likes being kicked. Oh, no.
Probably.
I think she's used to it.
If that's true, there could be a whole story of understanding her mental state of like, even with her daughter.
I deserve this because...
Exactly. But furthermore, I would say this, to your point, you're probably right in the sense that she probably didn't seek additional help because she felt so broken. From the tone in her voice, and she's talking to Heather, she seems very distraught, like
she's
broken down.
She's one against the two of them behind
her.
And
she's probably has no fight left in her.
The flight is still going.
Now, the questions you ask him, Dominic Matthew Torres, if I'm Britani Batemen.
Not the full government name.
Full government name. I would say, I'd get up from my seat and say, you and your big ass tits, shut the fuck up. And I would probably spill my wine on her.
And you know what I would do? I would sit in my seat like this and look at them the whole time.
You know, that's pretty good too.
And they'd be like, what are you doing? Turn around. The flight attendant can't make me turn around. Because no more than she can make you stop.
Like, imagine the roles reversed. Like, say it was Bronwyn in that situation. You know that bitch ain't letting that get away. Heather, same thing. Well, apparently Heather tried to intervene.
Angie. I will lose so much respect for them, and I don't know if that matters because the show has its own agenda. But I really hope whatever footage they get, guess what? We found the person who was sitting behind Lisa and Meredith.
Some bypasser
I really don't want
submitted.
it to be the cast, and they literally were just like, we figured she would deal with it herself. I really want it to be someone outside of it, because there were other people.
I go both ways, because I agree with you. That's a good point.
That would break my heart.
Mary was sleeping a lot of it. Heather was going in and out of it, sleeping. Woke up.
Bronwyn wasn't even there.
Bronwyn was not there yet.
Well, Whitney could hear because she's texting Lisa.
And Angie. Well, they've all probably. So we haven't heard Angie's perspective on this.
Wait, so who was across the aisle? It was Meredith and Lisa, and then someone was across the aisle, I think was in the cast. So they would have been seeing literally them kicking and doing all of the stuff.
Well, so
I'm not surprised I felt for Brittany, and I'm not surprised that you did either, because we are empathetic people. We can laugh, ha, you're making bad dating relationship choices. You being picked on for a 4-hour flight.
That is going overboard.
That is a completely different thing.
It really is.
Especially because you know that Brittany's not the type to stand up for herself. The only reason she even talked back was because she was drunk at the zombie party. Because otherwise, she wouldn't have even talked back like that.
Okay, so we have Meredith. So, okay.
Heather would have had the best look, and she was asleep.
Brittany is, okay. So Angie was also by herself with a stranger.
So Whitney might have actually just been saying, what the heck is happening?
What I mean here? For Meredith to say, Mary, you're on the other side. Bitch, she's just one up into the side. She's not in coach. You know what I mean? She makes it sound like she was in the front row.
I know.
And if she was slightly raising her voice, she definitely could hear that. Or to Mary's point, when she says toward the end of the episode, she's like, you know what, Meredith, you're right. I should not have been able to hear you, but I did. I think Meredith is a pathological liar too, quite honestly, because that was highly disturbing. If we do find out this is all true, that's her demeanor is very disturbing to me.
Her demeanor, yes, but Lisa, you can literally see behind her eyes that she
Lisa's
is just
far gone to me.
I looked up gaslighting, and it is like manipulating a person to get them to alter their perception of reality. They know what happened. I want you to question your stuff because then, and I was like, that is diabolical. That's Lisa.
That is Lisa.
So Meredith had her faults.
Yeah.
And we started this with me saying, well, at least now I know she enjoyed her marriage, because it feels like if all of this is out of defense of her marriage, and why did you bring up that stuff for me? You hurt my feelings. But then it also is diabolical because going onto the plane, Britani should be mad at y'all for tossing my stuffy. Now you're flipping it and you're taking all the attention again.
Or how about this? I can be a very petty bitch. Don't get me wrong. Full disclaimer, I can be petty. I don't say I hold a grudge necessarily, but I seek closure.
Okay.
So sometimes I might bring up something, not because it's a grudge, it's because I still am seeking some sort of answer. That bitch holds a grudge. And I thought, when y'all left, we were done with this. Yeah. So what the fuck happened where you're on the airplane and you're getting so fucking... That is psychotic to me.
Well, looking at this, putting it up again, Meredith's not sitting directly behind Britani. Unless that chair is empty in front of Meredith, whoever's kicking whoever, that is so disruptive for a ton of people. So there's going to be so much more. There's going to be so much more that we get. There has to. But Meredith does say to Mary, I was sharing something with my friend. So even if she's just speaking loudly to Lisa, can you believe that bitch did?
Yeah, and I know that because, again, as a petty person, I can say that too. I've used that excuse, like, well, I was just doing blah, blah, blah. Like, bitch, you know what you're fucking trying to do.
No, but you know there's levels. Because when they're at lunch before they leave the ship, Meredith is flipping her hair in front of Britani. I thought that was funny. Okay. I didn't like it, but I thought it was funny. And then Britani starts doing it back.
And this one back, she kept saying things like,
I can't remember. She would never say her name, and I'm sure they were doing this one on the plane.
Yeah.
And then Britani does it again, and then they switch
scenes. So to your point, that part, because of the setup, there's a lot of humor to it. Now, if you are like, okay, camera's down, we're moving on with this.
Yeah.
And you're doing that same kind of business, now that is a whole nother thing.
That's what I'm saying. Britani should have been pissed because they go from the lunch with we have to switch chairs to then I find out you tossed my boyfriend's stuffy.
Yeah.
To then, and shame on you producers for making her sit in front of them because you.
Or when she
walked they book their own flights?
Or when she walked into that breakfast, like she's sitting next to Meredith.
Her dress was so pretty, but her hair was.
She's very pretty.
Well, whatever her nationality is, like her skin tone is like an olive. It's like she's not like you other girls. To quote Lisa,
she's pretty white.
Okay, wait, what's that about Disney World? Because they said she's a princess. She was a stage performer at Disney World. Oh. She was Princess Ariel and Belle, according to Wikipedia. Maybe that's why Meredith said that. Let me find out. Meredith is Googling her in her off time.
She was also on the second national tour for the musical Miss Saigon. So she's like a stage actress.
Yeah.
She was in a movie called Mobsters and Mormons.
That's so funny.
I feel like I'm starting to really like Britani. She does have a lore about her.
We are anti-bullies. I think
very.
That more than you're.
But you know what?
Like
on
Britani.
Top of that, I'm making another prediction. She has, for one, this is not the prediction. It's going to lead to the prediction here.
Okay.
Housewives fans love like a campy queen, like kind of not like Lisa Barlow, but in that sense, like I don't know why people are that much of a fan of said person. I can see Britani start after this episode for sure, if not already, gaining a following of people that just stand for Britani.
And not just sympathizers.
And not like there's something about, because she's kind of like a dingbat. Like, I mean that in a loving way.
Yeah. You just want to protect her.
Kind of. Because I do feel like the more, like what you said, we're thinking about like, maybe she's way more broken than, depending on what the cast looks like. I feel like either Meredith, Lisa, or both, I don't know, are not going to come back next year. I don't know. But I have a feeling there's a possibility Britani could be promoted to a full-time housewife next year.
Wow.
But when you think about it, she's been in so much shit this whole season. There's been
so much shit. Her daughter had a solo.
Yeah, that's a kind of a big deal. I wouldn't be surprised if she gets a full-time housewife spot next year.
So why are you saying that? Are Meredith and Lisa going out with a flame?
Kind of. More so. I guess it depends who's going to sink the ship more. If it's one or the other.
Well, you can't have Meredith without Lisa because Meredith doesn't say anything. I kind of agree. On her own.
I will tell you this. As it stands right now, I could see Lisa departing, not being a housewife, Meredith staying full-time, and we can see how Meredith is on her own. If there's possibility because here's a storyline that would make more sense. Meredith and Britani, if she got promoted full-time, you could see their reconciliation type of them building a relationship. That could be an interesting storyline because as it stands, it's like, it's not going to be possible. That could be interesting TV to watch. I could see that versus them both being gone or Lisa staying and Meredith not. I could see all of those as possibilities, and this could change.
So if Britney's promoted, Bronwyn has to be promoted.
Well, she is.
Because Bronwyn is way more
Well, they're all... So everyone's a housewife, minus Britney. So Britney's just a friend of.
Okay.
So she's the only one that would be eligible, so to speak.
I got you. I love that. Okay.
And they could... So when you're a friend of, you don't have a tagline. You're not in the credits. As well as... You don't have as much personal storyline, but what you just said, and we've often seen this in other franchises with Housewives. It doesn't happen often. I think there was like a club, like fans call, like folks that have come on as a friend and got promoted to Housewife. That scene with her daughter and her daughter having her own confessional, that means Bravo is invested in you.
Yeah.
So that could be a sign that there could be a thought in the network or whatever.
Interesting.
As it stands, I could see that being more logical than Meredith and Lisa not coming back, unless they chose out of their own free will, like, no, we don't want to do this anymore. Because I can kind of see that too right now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Meredith has probably spoken as much as Mary. They both have kind of their observers, and they say their little thing on the side.
Has made a hell of a lot more of an impact than Meredith.
Maybe in prior seasons, but in this season, you get a flash of Mary with her son. You get a flash of Meredith with her.
Yeah, but then you had like Angie and Meredith. You had their little thing, and you see her being the voice. You see her being constantly a voice of like, okay, now I have to step in because y'all are acting a fool.
That's true.
And those hold like I feel like weight, and those are very memorable.
That's true. But
I feel like that's her lane. Like she's not going to get in the mid-season trailer, you see her like yelling at someone.
I know. Well, I'm trying to think like maybe if Meredith is the quiet observer, but then when she does jump in, it's this. It's like, well, I'd like to see you go.
Well, that's why I agree with Britney. It's like when she does, it's like she's very like chaotic. It's like what the fuck? You were acting so extreme when it's so manic. Unnecessary. Very much so. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's so unnecessary.
All right, so if Meredith stays, I would like her to discuss her marriage. Maybe she's a swinger. Maybe they're a little bit open, like Bronwyn and Whitney talk about when they go to lunch. How's that segue?
Interesting, because that was a very interesting conversation.
So then,
on Bronwyn's part, in my opinion.
skipped a scene because I think in the middle of that was
Britney and Heather meet up.
Yeah,
and that made me really sad too, hearing her talk. Though I loved her outfit. That like it looked very like Chanel.
The look was amazing. I was just like, why don't you look like this?
You know what's so funny sometimes when they go to these lunches, and I've listened to other Housewives podcasts when they talk about how it works. Basically, obviously, you can't, and I'm sure you know this as a lawyer, like you can't just like film anywhere and just they have to sign a release and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, they went to a Hyatt hotel. Look beautiful.
Well, they must be
like
paying.
You look around, like there's nobody here.
They had to be paying because they don't usually just show the name of it all like that. But then she's like, I'll have the big salad.
And I was like, that salad looked good though.
But I want to go somewhere and say, I'll have the big salad. Because it was just so giving. Like, it looked good. That's what we're known for.
And the scenery was so pretty. But yeah, that conversation.
That was one of the best looks Britney
She looked amazing, which is so funny because she was so sad.
But you know what's ironic though? When she has her testimonial.
Confessional.
When she has her confessions and she has the
that's
long
so
bob.
lawyer, but you keep saying the testimonial.
When she has her long bob, I think that's the best look with her bone structure, though.
And her confessional, I agree with you. She looks so.
Maybe it's the waves in the hair too.
I think it's the waves, and it doesn't seem as darker. It seems like there's more like light to it. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
But yeah, she meets up, and Heather's her cousin.
No, just friend. Yeah.
Okay, I like that because Heather was saying, I wish I could have done more without being an apologist, without like, I am sorry they did that. She just was listening, and I think she was just being a really good friend.
I agree. It validated, I really do genuinely 100% feel so bad for Britney.
I do too.
Because I understand. And remember I said to you, I got kind of triggered in this episode. That to that extent, nothing like that has happened to me personally, but I have definitely been in a situation where, okay, I might have been acting a fool a little bit, saying stupid ass shit, and then been on the receiving end of like, this is to the point where I'm saying this is too much. Like, y'all are coming at me, you're saying some mean ass shit, you're not listening to me. She probably feels misunderstood, or no one's like hearing what she's trying to say, and that all gets lost, right? When people are pissed at you for starting, like it's a whole mess. And that feels very isolating and very lonely. That's why I also appreciate that scene with Heather, because Heather wasn't making excuses. She owned it, apologized, and just wanted to hear, like, yes, you're my friend, and I am so sorry that happened to you.
Just a listening ear.
Exactly. And that means everything in those kind of moments.
And you know what? I hope that being on the show allows Britney to have more friends like this, because I don't feel like she has a lot of people who do this.
I agree.
I think that Jared or the men she date do this for her. And so then she has that attachment because they're the ones that she's able to open up to. And it's like, I think she needs some girlfriends.
In the trailer, the mid-season trailer, you see that scene with her. Did you watch it?
Yes.
And she's like, they're like on a walk.
Because Whitney kisses Bronwyn, but I'm guessing they were doing some kind of a dare.
I know. I'm like, well, that makes sense after this conversation.
But they started with that. I was like, you guys are so petty.
But that conversation, she's like walking with Jared, and I forget what he says, but she walks. She's like,
he's like, I feel like it wasn't unstable, but I'm looking at your show. He says something like
along those words, right?
Like,
because she yells at him and like, this is why I keep breaking up with you. And he's like, this is how this is going to end. And
I was looking at him like, you are so not all that.
No, I'm sorry.
When you're if she values him, great. But like, whatever you said to me was rude, and we're outside of the park, and she walks off.
That was very diplomatic of you. Jared, you're a fucking asshole. I don't believe you treat women with respect.
I've only seen him twice in this season. You have a history.
I know, but he's a real dick. I think you here's the thing. What you sense is exactly what you saw last season. So he's a dick. They keep breaking up. He's a piece of shit. I don't think he respects women the way that women deserve to be treated. I think he likes to fuck women, maybe schmooze them.
You can sleep with women and not like women. And not saying you're not attracted to them, but like you don't care for who they are. I don't care about how you eat your breakfast.
I think
your body.
And this could be some sort of overreach stretch. I don't care. I am guessing without knowing him, he probably is likely, I'll give him a little grace, misogynistic fucking guy.
Yeah.
He preys on women like Britani who are looking,
you can tell.
Love.
You can tell.
You so can tell. I have been with a guy
like
that.
They're sitting at the bar nursing a drink, hoping you buy them one.
Well, exactly. And I have been that guy, meaning like I just want to be loved, and guys tap into that, and
they can sense it.
They use you for what it is that they need to fulfill something. They keep breaking up all the time.
They don't tell you they love you. They say you are loved.
Right. And it makes you think, because you're so like hoping for it. Like it's just like, well, you make excuses. They break up, get back together.
Whole time, he's just not that into you.
Whole time. And I can't stand that. And I think he's a prick, and I really don't care. And Britani, honey, you really, if you're not in therapy yet, you really need to be, because
it's not anything that like anyone can fix.
I think I do think it can be reversed. And I think it's quite clear from that conversation with her daughter. It's not like she's been a neglected mom the whole time. It seems like when they got older, then something shifted. I think you have so much potential to be a very loved figure on the show and in reality TV. You just got to find love for yourself first. Screw these guys. Love your kids, and I think you'll shine. You can still be messy and all that, because that's what we enjoy in Housewives. This guy, he's a piece of shit.
And give yourself time. You don't have to fix all of it tomorrow.
Grace,
but grab one thing and fix it, and let it be right over.
Stop with guys.
Stand up for yourself the way you stand up for Jared. Like, you are going so hard for this relationship.
You need to listen to the Mel Robbins show. Drink a glass of wine, decompress, write a journal. I know you're...
And hang out with Heather more.
Hang out with Heather more. Have fun. My personal opinion. When you're so tied to organized religion, I feel like then it's my opinion, you lose... I don't want to say a sense of reality, but I just feel like because there's rules and all that. Like, it's stuff that like, well, I can't do that. I don't like. That's why I don't subscribe to any of that. I'm like, no, I'm me. God loves me. You can still go to church and pick and choose what what you connect with. I can tell that there's love there that you have to give to the world and your kids. So she needs to lead.
But that's part of it, though, right? Like,
probably
I'm not spending enough time with my kids, or they don't think I am, because I'm with you, and then you treat me shitty too. What's the missing link? She needs to spend time by herself. She needs to focus on loving herself. She needs to be like, what do I like? What do I this? What do I that? Do I want to live in Utah? Do I want to be a developer or a real estate agent? Do I want to be?
She likes to sing, write music, something.
Truth is, she could sit down and say, do I want to be close to my kids? Because she may not want to. Don't do it for the show. Do it for you, right? And so she needs to figure those things out.
To that point, all those things mean nothing unless you're doing it for yourself.
Because if you're not, we're going to see right through
it. And I do get scared for a tiny bit. I apologize, Britani, because I'm really trying to be on your side here. That there are parts of her, I think we've said it here, at least I definitely have, sometimes it comes off kind of thirsty, what she's trying to do on the show.
Yeah, like a pick-me.
Like she really wants to be a housewife. Love that. There's going to be a day this show will not be here forever.
But here's the thing. We were hoping she was just being a pick-me for the show.
Yeah, and it could be
she might be a pick-me in life.
And that's
the part that's reading through everywhere.
It's a very good point.
Ironically, though, your kids are saying, but I'm here for you. And you're like, I don't want that. Yeah. I want the thing that's hard to obtain. And we're like, girl, if you don't have that piece, you're not going to have the other one.
Don't let it be. And I love that we're giving her all this advice right now.
Trust me, I'm a doctor.
And
doctor of law.
I just have life
You're
experience.
You're a connoisseur. Brittany, he knows. You got more experience than she does with Housewives.
Don't let it get to the point where you don't have your kids or men.
I know.
Or friends, for that matter. Don't let it get to that place. It can be really dark. But we love you. Okay.
So let's talk about Bronwyn and Whitney.
Yeah, so they go to Bronwyn and Whitney, which I thought I was not ready for this.
Have we seen them together before?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah,
Bronwyn shows up looking fantastic in that suit. It's like a celestial... Like anyone, not celestial, like a
Was it like space
constellation?
Yeah. Anyone
thing.
Else, I'd roll my eyes like
and
you're so
then
dumb.
Whitney shows up with this like bolero type jacket.
Denim? Was that denim?
I don't know.
I think it looked like
denim. It was so not her.
It wasn't. I loved
it. It looked really, really good.
High fashion. I loved it.
So Bronwyn tells her, she's like, it's on Twitter that someone sat behind her husband.
I didn't realize this was a thing. I don't remember seeing that on Twitter. Maybe I did, but maybe I didn't.
And was taking pictures of Todd looking at another woman
on his phone, right? Yeah.
People do that. People do
that.
I
thought
she
was
going to
say porn or something.
People do that if they're. People do that.
I want to know what that means. Now, looking at women, like Tinder or like Instagram.
He's not looking at her face.
No, like because it was on her. He was looking on his phone, right? What is that? I want to know what that means.
He's zooming in at tits. He's zooming in at.
So
butt.
Was it? Well, that's my point. Is it porn? Is it a specific woman that you're talking to? Is it
maybe
someone's
she
Instagram?
sends a picture like this with some cleavage?
Right. That's what I want to know.
Todd. You and your wife talk about this all the time. You are now a public figure.
Yeah.
People are watching you. There's that.
Yeah.
Second thing, Bronwyn had no problem with it. She was only upset that she was embarrassed. Because here's my thing. Don't intentionally embarrass me. And that was basically what Bronwyn said. She's like, I wish I could have just been there and been like, yeah, I picked the girl.
So,
yes,
okay. I love it.
I
love
was
it.
Like,
however, I'm sorry.
I love
and we
it.
are Bronwyn fans. I'm definitely a Bronwyn fan.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear. This is where, and then when Heather was on Watch What Happens Live, that night, the episode came out, right? And I kind of agree with her answer, though.
Yeah.
And I don't think it comes. At least I'm not getting that it comes from a negative or judgmental place. I'm getting really confused though, because she was really fucking pissed off. She's so pissed off about the rumor of him making out and farting. I'm trying to remember what that conversation was because now I'm trying to read in between the lines.
That was mostly another thing Lisa.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Her. Because I'm trying to remember, did she at any point
never
say
said
like,
there's no way that happened?
Not
nope.
true. I'm trying to remember
You're
that.
talking about my husband again. That was what made her upset.
Okay, so what is her relationship with Todd then?
If we are not open, but even if Bronwyn chose a girl for him to go make out with, don't embarrass me by farting. There was so much other stuff where she's like, if we had that relationship, I know that's not what he was doing. Or that was his night to go out. What if Bronwyn said, was it Tuesday? Because Tuesdays are his free night. Then it's done. I just loved.
I'm sorry. I'm not over the farting stuff.
I know.
I thought I have after the week or whatever it's been. I'm not. Because you saying it just was so funny to me.
I love the complications of people.
So what do you think the relationship is? What is your guess on it? Because I'm lost.
So people are going to be shocked because people are going to be like, Todd. Yeah. People are attractive to everyone.
Me.
People are attractive to everyone. That does not matter. And you objectively, which no one can really try to be objective, you would look at it and be like, but Bronwyn's the hot one. That's not true. People could be attracted to his wallet. They could be attracted to his hair. They could be attracted
well, look, she's hot and she's attracted.
People can be attracted to all kinds of things. So I'm like, go ahead, Todd. Also, don't be embarrassing me in the streets. If we have an agreement and you are doing certain things, keep it clean. Have the person come to the house. Where else could you be? Look in the Uber. Look in your rented car. Why are you on a plane? Why are you so engrossed in this photo that you can't tell someone is over your shoulder looking, right? So there's so much stuff, but I love that she just was like, I had a talk with him. I told him not to come home that night. I need some space.
I love that. Yep.
And then we are going to deal with it. And you know what else I really loved? That she brought it out. They didn't sit down and Whitney goes, I've been on Twitter. Guess what?
She looked surprised. Did you see her Whitney's face? She was like,
because I don't think they've been that talked about intimate things.
I don't think so.
That.
Well, she was clearly surprised in it, and I would just as much as I was because I was not expecting that on Twitter.
And then Whitney says, Justin and I.
That doesn't surprise me. They're very sexual. She's very open about her sexuality with him, all this kind of. So she loves stripper poles. And I love that about Whitney. But Bronwyn and Todd, and you know what? Shame on me because my point was Todd out there banging chicks. You're right. I think it's more so he seems like too much of a serious guy, mostly because of his interaction with her. Mm-hmm. That it's almost like he creates this image of kind of being uptight that I'm like, I don't see him doing some shit.
Most repressed,
but yeah, you're right. You're right. And you can never judge a book by its cover. And
who probably need the biggest release.
So, okay, so it sounds like they don't have an arrangement.
But they're also the ones that don't want you surrounded by people who talk too much.
Yeah.
Lisa. Because he's like, why are you letting this person in our life who's going to spill all of our
Because she wants to own the narrative as she should, as we all should.
Which everyone does. Even Whitney says, when my kids are out of the house, we're doing whatever we want. Because
I do love that.
You want to be perceived a certain way. I just love the vulnerability of their conversation.
I will say that, and I agree with her. This wouldn't vibe with me, but I love what she said. Todd's evolving, and I just want to evolve with him. Because relationships do evolve. So I am not. Me and my friends talk about this.
Okay.
Open relationships, all this kind of stuff. I'm too jealous, bitch, to ever. I'd never say never. No, never would be. That's just me.
And that's okay.
If Theo said, I want to talk, not do.
Yeah.
Talk about opening up our marriage or having an agreement. I'm assuming when she's saying agreement, I'm assuming this is not, she's not talking about an open marriage. She's just talking about, okay, we have an agreement that once in a while he goes fucks girls.
Or once in a while she goes and does what she wants.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
Wait, he said this to you.
We would talk about it.
Okay.
The reason we would talk about it, and the reason I can say that straight on, straight face, been married 6 years, marriage is a business. And there can be so many pieces to the business that go outside of this one aspect. If you're here and you're listening and we're combined income, I've literally taken your name, we're raising children, we have assets, finances, we have businesses, we have companionship. And every now and then you're tired of only seeing my tits. I've been married 6 years and I still love and enjoy all this stuff. When I'm 50, your penis again? I cannot say.
See, I don't know what you want to label.
And he is going to laugh so hard when he hears this because he listens. But
he does. That really makes it. I love that. Thank you.
Dom knows me. But if you went to my social media right now and you were like, she's doing monthly check-ins on which training do I need. She's a bird watcher. She does book reviews. She would possibly talk about opening their Why? Because people are complicated and 100%. People have all these different things. 110%. And also, I just don't think that's one or the other. But that also doesn't mean that, Dom, you're going to change your mind in the future. You might never. I won't. Because I've never been a jealous person either.
I never got that vibe from you ever. I really haven't. You really, and I respect it.
I am an absolute unicorn.
I am. I never paint myself in the romantic aspect of me in a good light on this podcast. I have jealous tendencies.
Well, but
sure,
I can be possessive.
Do
you consider the two to be the same? Okay, so you can be jealous and possessive.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think they're always the same.
I'm weird though, because I'll be possessive over something I've built with my hands, like a job or a career, more than a person. Theo chooses to be with me every day. I choose to be with him every day. So that I can't hold. But a career, something I built, and then I'm fired, I will be livid. So it's weird.
I think when you say something, when you say choose, I think that's I have friends that have open relationships. They're into the whole thing, polyamorous, all of it. And I think what I love as a society is that we can have these conversations and that relationships, as we know, I feel like we've always known it, but it's so taboo and looked down upon. There's a spectrum. And I love that.
Which is open to discussing.
Great. And I think it's a beautiful thing when you really think we should look at it that way. There's no judgment. I don't care. We should all be able to say, I love that for you. And I think there's something so liberating about it. I could never, because you know me too. You've been my friend through relationships and me talking about dating. I just want my person, my partner. And I don't know what.
Not a boyfriend, not something
flighty. My person. Yeah. And they're obviously all those things.
Yeah.
But I view relationships of a boyfriend, maybe a future husband, as my person, a partner. That you're different, but the same. They're there for you when you need them. I was saying this to my best friend the other day. I'm like, because he's going to be moving in with his person who lives in a day in and all this kind of stuff. And I have feelings about it. Positive ones, but I'm just like sad for me, happy for him. But I was like, and I say this to anyone that has a relationship right now, that they feel full in.
Yeah.
Not like whatever. That you're very fortunate because it's so dark right now. We were just talking about how life is so hard. I'm like, when you come home at night, and you have no one to say, how's your day, to hold your hand, to cry to when it's like, not only the world's hard, but
to
sit there with you. Your job sucks. You're having a hard time, and the world's ending in a way that I've never experienced in my 35 years of life. Like, it is so incredibly lonely and isolated when you don't have that person.
But to take it back a step, it's so hard to even meet and connect with another person. You're around people
as an adult
all day, and that does not mean you're attracted to them. You want to talk to them,
but
you
even
see them.
Even
it
friends,
is so like magical. And I don't know why people like downplay dating. And this is ironic because we were just talking about Brittany and Jared. Yay for y'all if that's it. But it is hard to couple up with someone you actually want to be with. It is magical. Like there is.
That's exactly how I view it as magic.
How does it go from like I meet you and we're dating to where I'm gonna move to your city?
Right. Yeah.
It's so magical.
It really is. When you listen, shocking enough, I know, to anyone listening, I'm argumentative. I can be. I have regrets. I talk about that, like ending relationships that I have a lot of regrets because you get too much caught into your bullshit. Similar to some of these women, you get too caught up in self stuff, life, all the whole thing that you make regrettable decisions. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having regrets. I think it comes with life sometimes. I will say this, in particular though, with this conversation, I'll tell you an interesting story about arrangements. Is that there's a guy I was dating during COVID. We started dating pre-COVID, and then we were in a relationship during COVID. Like, I thought we were going to get married. We had talked about it, but in a funny way, but serious undertones. Like, what if we get, like, that kind of thing. He's the guy that told the story about that post on
Facebook?
Yes, that guy. So I'm going to be the Britney a little bit in this situation because I egged on a conversation.
Everyone's been a Britney.
We all have been a Britney. He was very sexual. I'm not. I don't.
Not a PDA guy.
I like holding hands, that kind of thing, but he loves sex, all this kind of stuff. I'm more like, I can do it once a month and I'd be cool. Because I value what I find is intimacy more. Like cuddling, making out, that to me holds a lot more like.
Yeah.
We would laugh so hard together. I loved his personality. You know, COVID isolating times, right? We had each other. I loved him so much. And he was probably like my first real relationship where I felt actually seen by another human being that was not a friend. So we're like at my house. We're sitting outside drinking wine. Remember, I did kind of bring it out of nowhere because I had in my head, I'm like, I'm going to say this and see what he says. That was kind of how this started. And I said, I know you're a very sexual person. I'm not. Hypothetically, what if I give you a hall pass? Would you do it? And he's like, Dominic, shut up, kind of a thing.
A hall pass is when you're able to sleep with someone else but still be in your relationship.
And then we started
Usually people give hall passes for famous people. It's just for anyone.
Yeah. Well, that's how I'm using it that way.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, Dominic, be quiet. And that's how we were talking about it. But then we started going into, I was like, no, like, what if we had an arrangement and I let you have sex with somebody because to fulfill those needs that you have. Yeah. I also was starting a new medication. I have cystic fibrosis, for anyone who doesn't know. And I was starting this new life-saving medication. One of the side effects, and it definitely hit me then, was it regulates my body. And oftentimes what they found as a side effect is that you gain weight. And I did. Okay. I gained like 30 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And I struggle with my own like self-esteem. You know this about me. So here I am. I was very uncomfortable in my body. And he was very he was thin, hot, geeky. He was a professor. And I just didn't feel comfortable. So that's part of the reason why that we weren't like doing it.
That is very Britney.
Very much so, right? It really is when you think about it. Yeah. So we're talking about like an arrangement. And I remember he was kind of uncomfortable about it. He said, I'm comfortable with this conversation. I was like, no, but like honestly. And I said, and then we were getting very serious about it to a certain point. And I said, okay, if we were to have an arrangement, the rules would be you could not do it with somebody unless I knew about it prior. I have to know first. And that was the only rule to this arrangement. Yeah. When I say arrangement, we didn't have one. It was still all hypothetical. He did not want to do it. He said it a few times, like, I wouldn't do it. I don't want to do that. I said, okay. I was like, but hypothetically, if we were ever to discuss, like for real, to have an arrangement, that would be my one rule. I want everyone to bookmark that for a second. Flash forward the next day, I say to him, I'm really depressed today. I just think, you know what? I'm going to turn my phone off. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to let you know that, like, he's like, I support you. Yes. And I remember I laid in bed. I watched documentaries on Netflix. Just turn the world off. Yeah. And he was so supportive and sweet. And he's like, let me know if you need anything from me. You know.
You're killing me. Did he do something?
The next day, I'm rejuvenated.
And he's like, I text you, but your phone was off.
He knew. Well, no, he knew my phone was off, right? So we go to the park that we always go to walk Lucy. That was like our thing. We're walking. he's so cute. I was he's so hot to me. And I was like, kind of like feeling myself. We're walking. Colby had just moved into his new home. Mm-hmm. All these things, right? We're talking. He goes, I want to tell you something. I was like, okay. And he goes, so you remember how we talked about that hall pass thing?
I'm sorry. You're in such a good mood because you just had your decompressing day.
Yes. I just bookmarked that too. I'm thinking he wants to talk about seriously doing it, right? Naturally, because we talked about it. Yeah. No agreement. He goes, well, I did it. Exactly was the exact words. And I said, and I stopped in my tracks. My face was warm. I saw red. I was like, excuse me? He said, I did it. And I was like,
did what you told me to do.
And my jaw, I was like, I was holding my dog's leash because I had her in my hand. And I'm like, A, we didn't agree to doing anything. And B, I said, if we did, there was one rule. Do you remember what the fuck that was? Oh. And he's like, yeah, but you said you weren't. I was like, oh, you mean like when I was severely depressed, then you thought to go fuck someone? And I said, and then Colby
I'm laughing at the ridiculousness.
Well, and then at that same moment, Colby called me. He's like, hey, you want to go to Target? Because I'm going to go buy stuff for my new house. I was like, yep, I'll meet you there. And I handed him Lucy's leash. I'm like, you take her. I'm leaving.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Dominic.
And I felt really bad for him. I was like, how can I do it? I just handed my dog over.
I left it with that monster. Okay, so you guys eventually broke up.
No.
Did you consider that cheating?
Yes, yeah. I do. We didn't break up. We met later at my house with my dog, and he cried. I'm like, how could you do this to me?
So wait, because I don't care anything about him.
I don't either.
If you did give someone a hall pass, what pleasure do you get out of, who is it? Oh, why do you think they're hot? Are you going to take a shower after? Like, why do you want to know first?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, here's the tea. I never wanted him to say yes to it.
Okay, so it was a test. That's not fair.
I know. It sounds really shitty.
Wait, so does he have a history of cheating and he doesn't want to talk about it? Now you open the door.
He did tell me one of his previous relationships, his boyfriend at that time cheated on him, so he cheated on him back.
That's probably why he wanted to keep it not even an option to think about.
He's Vietnamese, like, I don't want to do that to you. No.
I don't think that's a Britani at all. What you did or any of it. You were uncomfortable in your body. You feel like he's sexual. You probably felt like you weren't giving him as much sex as you thought he would.
I wasn't, and I did mean it in that way. It did come. It wasn't.
Him tell you if that's the case.
It was. Well, yeah. And listen, I was flirty. I was almost 5 years ago, and I was a much different person. Blah blah blah.
Fuck him.
But I did mean it. Like, I felt like I wasn't enough. Yeah. So I was like, I wanted to. If you want to. So was it a test? It wasn't, but I wanted him to say no.
I only say it's a test because you wanted him to say no.
I did, right? I did.
Dominic, of course not. I would never. Right. But I feel like he probably.
And you know why? Because the Britani part of me was like, I want to be enough for you, and I want you to validate that. So in hindsight, what I believe, I don't know this for a fact, other than that one time, I believe he was cheating on me left and right. And
you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing Miranda, and I changed who I was for you. He probably was being good for you.
To my but lying.
And he probably would have, I'm sure it probably
would have. Well, here
it is. Either way. I'm the complete opposite. Every guy I've ever dated, I'm like, if you're cheating, if you don't want to be with me, you just tell me. Okay.
Yeah.
And there, I'm like, same for me? Yes.
That's going to suck, but it's better than...
I remember I go to Bowling Green for their homecoming one year. I'm not living with a guy, but I'm staying at his place like 4 times out of the week. And so I come back and we go for a walk. Mm-hmm. And he's like,
oh, God.
I slept with someone.
I was going to say, I have anxiety about this.
I remember it was like Halloween weekend. I was like, well, you told me. And the first day he told me he did it, and me being me, was it the first time? No. And that was where the next day I just like trashed his apartment. I wrote cheater and liar on the window.
I love it.
The reason I don't love it is because, Kylie, you said you were going to talk about this so you wouldn't have that happen. But I told people, you tell me, I'll tell you. But it doesn't remove the emotional part. It just makes it responsible.
But it's a little easier. I don't know, for lack of better words.
But I'm not a snooper. Like, and then I tell Theo, because I always put my phone down, but it's mostly because there's no case. He has all my codes. Like, it's not because I'm not...
No, I have nothing to hide.
I intentionally try not to because I'm like, I'm not hiding, so let me just leave it up. I just like, you don't want to make another person feel that way.
No, I have never cheated on anybody. I've never thought about it because, again, as somebody, I love and I just want my person, my partner. That's how I view relation. I am all in until I'm not, I suppose. But that, to me, cheating on some, I know we've talked about. We have, but in my brain, it just doesn't keep like. It doesn't keep, I don't understand if somebody can do it.
So do you believe that people can like date someone that's not their person? I'm just dating you because you're convenient?
Yeah.
It's a quote from our show. If you meet the love of your life while you're married, what are you supposed to do?
Charlotte, Yeah. This is where I agree with Charlotte York from Sex and the City. Is I kind of agree with her. I can only date someone that I feel like there's potential to be like marriage kind of a thing. And I'm not saying we have to get married. I guess I agree with the sentiment of like, I don't date just to date and like whatever. I don't understand that from myself. I can understand it from maybe other people that want to have fun and maybe something happens, maybe something doesn't where it becomes serious. And with that mindset, I'm definitely a Charlotte in that way of, okay, what's the objective here? Then would this be friends that have sex once in a while or make out?
Well, I think that quote is problematic because why are you out looking? There's a very different positioning that you give off if you're looking, right?
Probably, yeah.
There's two things. Yeah. If you started to wear a wedding ring, you would get hit on way more. Yeah. These things are fucking radars for people.
Not me.
Who are looking for an insecure person. Well,
yeah, exactly.
But they are absolutely right. But if you don't know what you're doing, oh my gosh, am I extra attractive today? No, bitch. You have on a ring. And people look at it and they say you can commit to someone. Great. Or they look at it and they say, wow, you won't want all my time. There's a whole lot of stuff that's
yeah.
But
agreed, yeah.
There's a different positioning if you're out at a bar and you're giving that. You're looking at someone for 7 seconds. You're making the slow eye contact. You're licking your lip. There's a different, you're not meeting the love of your life while you're married because you shouldn't be giving off that energy of come and talk to me. It may be different for women, but there's a very completely...
I don't know.
Same outfit, I can have completely different positioning if I'm giving off that come talk to me.
I think it's so situational. And I do believe you often also give off a different energy depending what you're looking for. I don't know what mine gives off. Clearly not much because no one's hitting on me. Whatever, but I don't see a point in it. And I would say this also to bring it back to Britani. Where I am to Britani in that situation is I think he was the Jared. He never gave me the closure to hear him verbatim say this. I can connect the dots though. If I look now that I've gone through it, I never got closure, but I had to give it to myself and I worked through it. In hindsight, the signs and connecting the dots that I could see in that relationship, I think he was definitely a Jared where I fulfilled something in him. However, I remember I used to tell myself, I'm like, man, if I ever found out he never loved me, that would kill me inside. Several years later, here I am. What I can say is I don't think he ever did.
Really?
Maybe for a minute, maybe he wanted to.
That's the scariest thing to know, that you like projected this stuff onto somebody, or they did the smallest thing and you took it as a grand gesture and you're just like, they never did anything.
I don't. And I think, say maybe something switched perhaps, because remember he was at my house one day and I jokingly said, because he was always all this. He was all up in my business. And I remember there was a slight moment where I was so annoyed. But here's the thing. He never put me on social media. Never did. I'd be like, please. I'm very much Britani. Oh, my God. Yeah. I was like, please post this. He's like, well, I put it in my story once. I'm like, bitch, that's 24 hours. It goes away.
I don't post people. I don't claim people.
I can't remember his birthday. It's September, I believe. If I remember correctly. It's fall. It's fall.
Libras are like, yeah.
It's probably on my phone somewhere. Oddly enough. Okay. Or maybe November his birthday is. Actually, his birthday's in November. I think he's a Scorpio. I think. I'm almost positive actually it is in November.
He values his privacy.
Whatever, fuck him. He never would post something like a picture of us. It doesn't have to be like, I love beg for. I'm like, please, that's so sad when you think about it.
The begging is the only part that's slightly Britani, because my husband doesn't like social media. So I only post him, you might get his hand or something, but he does not like social media. Yeah. And so then like it's our anniversary. Yeah, we make big things, but I do tiny posts. If you ever see me write a paragraph, someone has stolen my phone.
Here's the thing.
But I'm saying we have an agreement. So if it is important to you that someone posts you and they intentionally won't, that's a problem, because that's just a lack of communication.
We didn't have any agreement, but like here's the thing. When you guys post, I don't know if you actually talk about it. Here's that I wanted exactly what people put up, where it's just now you just do it because you're having a fun like.
I don't even say happy anniversary. It's just pictures.
But it doesn't have to. It could be a fucking Tuesday and you saw something funny with your daughter and he's like holding her hand. Whatever, like that's authentic. Yeah. And in hindsight, it was really pathetic and sad. And me begging for you just to put a picture of us together, it would have been inauthentic. It would hold nothing.
It meant to you that he was.
It did, because I was like, "Are you ashamed?" I met his best friend, the one I ate salmon for. Yeah. I never met his Columbus friends because she lived in Athens.
This is the episode, the secret sex. The episode with Sex in the City, where she hides you away and you only get to see these friends. I take you to the same restaurant.
He met my friends, hung out with us.
I've dated people like that. Like, you only give them a snippet.
Yes. And so connecting the dots, I think I fulfilled something in him. Oh,
or he liked you.
He might have. And here's the thing, because going back to
like people and cheat on.
Because I made a joke to him. I was like, "You're so." I stopped myself. He's like, "What were you gonna say? Codependent?" And we laughed. I'm like, kind of. So there was a moment where he was like,
"So you thought he was up your ass, and he
was
actually like
for like a minute
showing you any." But you know what though? If you look at it, a lot of movies and stuff, the people who's always like accusing you of cheating, and that's probably was why he was all in your stuff, are the cheaters. So he probably was just. He probably was like, "Is he as shitty as I am?" Looking at all your stuff.
Maybe, but I'll tell you what. I think he was cheating on me left and right.
So if you're listening and you would like to date Dominic,
please don't cheat on me.
Just know that he is going to test you, but he still.
I won't.
Everybody tests people. It might even be in their own little way.
I have grown from that because here's the funny thing.
Because if I was with a shitty person who said, "Oh my gosh, she's not going to ask me anything," where you'll have to find someone where you get to be yourself, and they still will want.
I'll tell you this: I have grown from that. I don't do anything like that. Can I just say something to that point too? So I can end my trauma. Mm-hmm. So he never posted anything about me.
Okay.
Blocked me, all that kind of stuff after we broke up. Randomly last year, Colby still follows him. Mm-hmm. And Colby handed me his phone. So I'm like, I want to look at his Instagram. Flooded with pictures of him in his current relationship. I love you so much. And I bawled my eyes out. Oh. And Colby was like, what the fuck happened? And I was like, I don't know what this is supposed to mean because I'm over. I don't miss him. I don't.
You're crying because he couldn't give you what you wanted.
Exactly. And I'm like, and to people out there, that is okay because I don't. It wasn't like, oh my god, I miss him. It was like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, all I ever wanted for you was to brag about me. Like that's my there were several posts and the comment were so cliche. Like I love him, my boy.
That would crush me too.
And it also was coming off of that breakup.
Yeah, that would crush me too.
At that time too.
But the eternal optimist in me is saying. He never thought posting was important, and you let him know that posting your person.
Well, he clearly knows that it can be, even though it's fucking vocal about it.
Yeah,
and but you know,
or he just didn't care that much about you. Now he does it. That sucks.
And you know, I can hear that now and not get sad over it. I'll tell you, 4 years ago.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, that like I said, I'm like, if I ever found out he didn't actually love, it would have killed me. I'm like, whatever. I don't know if this is sad or not. I love relationships. I love love, and a partnership. I want it. I thought after healing, doing all the self work, I came back to Columbus. Mentally, I was like, I think maybe relationships aren't for me. Maybe I'm not meant to be with somebody, and I have to. And I'm for the first time, I'm okay with that. I want to come here, focus on my career.
And then you met someone.
I did. And I wasn't. So
maybe that's the key for you and Britani. You guys got to focus on yourself and your life.
And And here's the thing: we had the health until I fucked it up. But we never had an argument.
I just saw a video about that, where you keep dating red flags and you meet a green flag, and now you're the red flag.
100%. I got in my own way.
Yeah.
But there was no arguments. The only tiffs that we had, we talked them through, and it was never that deep. Where it was like. It was
well. That's just it. Theo and I argue, but we had an agreement. Probably in our first month, we don't raise our voices. We don't use curse words.
Yeah. It was
so we can disagree.
It was communication. Yeah.
To take it back to Britani and them, she laughing off them pouring water on her when she mentioned Jerry. Ooh. Her laughing off the hair. You were acting like you could participate when you really can't because now you're crying when they keep it going.
And I have a feeling.
And she probably should have let them know it.
But I have a feeling behind she'd close the door, go in the bathroom. She probably would cry about that. If I had to make a guess, I have a feeling behind closed doors. Maybe. She probably it is either triggering something in her. I wouldn't be surprised if she came out like at the reunion and she says it affected me more than I let on. And you know, here's the thing: there's gonna be shitty ass people that for whatever reason they don't have the emotional intelligence to understand that some of those women still be like, well, whatever, you're acting kind of whatever. I wouldn't be surprised. Who knows if that's true or not?
That's a good read. That's actually probably accurate.
I would not be surprised if it affects all these things. I think what people need to give people grace for, even through her child stuff, again, it's not an excuse or makes up for it. I hope, at least, and if not, then maybe she was a really shitty person. I don't believe she is. But I have to imagine shit has happened to her, we can understand or not, that made her feel a certain way. And that's maybe why she disengaged from her kids and all this kind of stuff and makes some of the decisions that she does. Because we are products of our trauma.
And we just looked it up. She's done like theater.
I had no idea.
She's been around Mean Girls.
Right. And I had no idea any of that.
She's been around Mean Girls.
But also tells me she's creative. And that's why maybe she doesn't need to be a housewife. So we can
That's why she needs to hang out with Heather and own her stuff. You know what? My hair looks like this because I like it like this.
Yes.
Oh.
I do have high body count hair. You have to watch that last season. That's something Angie said. Was
that like bedhead?
No, like slut.
Yeah.
But you have to watch it. That when I watched, maybe we just watched that episode.
It
was like a dinner party. Angie was going hard for Britani. Made her.
Well, she's also a hairstylist and is probably saying, "Please come see me."
Let's go to Heather and Lisa. But you all, thank you for listening to my drama.
It's fine.
And Matthew, if you're listening, fuck you. Oh. Anyway, speaking of fuck you, Heather and Lisa.
Heather and Lisa meet up. I was surprised they ever met.
Were you as pissed with Lisa as I was?
Because she was an hour late and I would have been gone.
Oh, girl. Let me tell you something.
As soon as they showed the time, I was like, there's going to be a time issue. I would have been gone. Thank God for Heather and her patience.
Like, I don't remember if it was at the 20 or 30-minute mark. Something
I
like
give
that.
you 15 minutes. And you haven't texted me to say you're on the way?
Agreed. 15. If you're my close friend, 20. If you communicate
with
me.
Wait, if it's someone you know is always late. Because I hang out with people that you know are always late. Yeah, I'm going to give you some grace.
Yeah, but not an hour. Never an hour. No excuse.
I'm like, hadn't even eaten. She was just like waiting.
So I was already pissed off.
But also, I think that shows how much Heather really wanted to talk to her about this. That she was like, I'm not even waiting for you to be like, can we meet up tomorrow? She's like, no, we're talking.
And it validates, Heather's a good friend.
I know. I thought Lisa's outfit was cute.
I did.
Her makeup was good that day.
I do like her style.
But then I do not like these crocodile tears.
And also, no, you take no accountability. No, she didn't apologize for anything.
So to be fair, I already was side-eyeing Lisa when she came in because I know more than my name is Kyla that she participated in bullying Britani. I know it.
Agreed.
And when she was going so hard to her husband about how Meredith did all this stuff and he goes, what did you do? I just said, or he either says that or he says, you just sat there. And she was like, I was just there watching, and she goes off the handle. I was like, why are you lying to him? And his lack of reaction, I was like, he knows.
And she's like, bitch.
She is lying.
Yeah.
I'm already rolling my eyes at her. She comes in and then she acts like she did nothing.
Nothing wrong.
And I know.
Nothing
wrong. And the sad thing is, she's a pick-me. Because she just was on the yacht for 2 days talking about Meredith's not a good friend. Why didn't you defend me? And you're going to show how good of a friend you are by bullying another woman. That is saying, Meredith, pick me, but also I'm still lying to you because I'm going to tell everyone I didn't participate. And then when it comes out in the reunion, I'm going to be pissed.
You know, here's the thing. I think maybe it's a sect pick me. I still stand by they have shit on each other, and that's why. How do you know what? Here's the thing.
Unless they swap husbands, what would you never want to get out?
Lisa is telling on herself. As much as you can read in between the lines, she's validating, even when she was talking to John and her husband in the car, eating her Wendy's. She is saying, Meredith freaked out. These are her words. She's like, she freaked out. She was validating that this happened. To some degree, whatever. It happened. Your part in telling Britani, I was trying to help her by telling her to give her the video. You didn't ask, girl, are you okay? So you're telling me you were so what? She said that I couldn't calm her down. I'm like, bitch, yes you can. If you're someone's best friend, I can calm my best friend down.
Neither of you have TikTok on your phone to just Google it?
That too, thank you.
So none of this would have solved the issue.
It was there, and it was. You could have also simultaneously trying to have a piss poor way of calming down Meredith. You can equally say like, honey, let's calm this. You have the video, that you
especially because Meredith is not even sitting behind her. Because here's the thing: what
Give me a break, Lisa?
If I am absolutely pissed off and I'm Meredith, can you believe she did that? Can you believe it? Kick her chair. I'm not kicking her chair, right? Like, in what world is Lisa not involved? What? I'm going to pull her hair. Or at least it's even slapping her hand. Stop it.
Yeah.
There is no way she was not involved.
No way.
There is zero.
She was involved. I believe it. I believe when they say, she was saying,
like, I'll get her to give me the phone.
Fucked up.
Oh, I'll kick her chair. I believe
Lisa saying, I can hear her saying, you fucked up. I can see her pointing. Lisa, she made me so mad in that conversation.
That's so sad.
Because she could not take accountability. She was deflecting. She was trying to reverse all this blame. Here's a Lisa Barlow equation. You come at her, but not only is she not going to own it, she's going to say something of the effect like, I'm tired of you all, everyone putting everything. That is your same excuse for everything. You know why? Because you don't own shit, so it all comes back on you. That's going to be default.
She tries to deflect and pivot.
Because guess what, honey? You ain't perfect. You have played roles in some arguments in the last 6 years of this fucking show. So it's time to be like, okay, you know what? If I didn't do enough, maybe I didn't realize it. That's my bad. I would have accepted that bullshit, but I would have accepted it. The fact that you sit there and you just can't do nothing, I think she is a pathological liar. But I believe she believes her own bullshit.
No, I think you could ask her what color shoes you have on and she would just lie. I think she absolutely
she'd be wearing
just lies.
Black high-heeled boots. She's like, yeah, I'm wearing silver stilettos. Or
just
something.
To see if you're going to be, and I just don't, that kind of dogged, follow me, listen to what I say, stand up for me regardless of what I say is so MAGA coded.
Oh, yeah.
And it is even there was something that Meredith said, and I was just like, you do not force people or win people over with punishment and conflict. And I was just like,
when has that ever worked?
This is disgusting. Yeah. No, that's the problem. It works. But that does not
it works with weak people.
It works with weak
and when I say weak, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean with people that are vulnerable. Maybe that's the
vulnerable people. And Britani is very vulnerable.
She is. And she wants to be liked. I think that's what it comes down to. All her problems come down to, I think she needs to be validated. I feel like she has issues with her self-worth and her self-esteem and how she's viewed by just the society at large.
And she needs a backbone. And if she needs to be drunk to have one, because when she...
Well, you know what? Actually,
isn't she the one that says, "Why are you even talking to me?"
Yes, and actually, I'm going to go back a few steps, and I can't remember what she said, but at that breakfast, while they're still on the boat, she was like going at it. She was like, she had boss energy in that moment. So I know she has it in her, and I feel like she just needs to do some self-discovery of figuring out, you know what, you need to have that spine with men, with loving yourself, with your friends that are being bullshit to you, and boss up. Have your moment to be broken, because that is very real too. And then come back swinging, girl, because those two women at least are trying to eat you alive, and they are.
Well, she needs to... I'm like, she needs to do a wife swap with someone so she can realize, like, that she is a big deal, that your life matters, you are important. These
100%.
women, I can't say who are these women to believe. Clearly, they mean something to her.
Yeah,
Lisa and Meredith.
They shouldn't,
it means something to her. Even if it's just because they're OGs. I'm a badass in my own right. There are people I follow on Instagram and I'm like, oh my gosh, if I met them in person.
Yeah.
And they're not famous. There are people in our city, but I see them, I watch them.
But they have value to you,
But you know what? I also follow accounts that say people are looking at you and wondering what Kyla's doing today, wondering when Kyla's posting. And I'm like, you're always a step further than the next person.
Me and Britani, we could hear that. And I just it's not that I don't believe it. It's just like, it's like an ingredient that we just cannot taste.
Well, I said that to you earlier, and you rolled your eyes. You're like, "What am I doing?" And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
People should not have that reaction.
Well, it's not.
We should believe in ourselves.
It's not that it's an ingredient you can't taste, because I haven't always been like this. It's just that you just have to tell yourself enough.
Yeah.
Until you start to change. If you tell yourself I'm shitty and I'm a bad friend every day, you start saying, well, I'm a great friend, it's not going to hit. You have to be like, I'm a great friend because I do this.
Isn't that interesting? We can talk ourselves into the worst by simply just keep saying, because I am that person. I have been saying this since I was like 12, 13 years old. Like, you fail, you're a fuck up, you're not worth it. But and then you believe it.
You do.
The reverse of when you try to do like the Mel Robbins method and all this kind of stuff, whether it's the high five method or saying affirmations to yourself in the mirror, you're like, whatever.
It is interesting, but you just have so much more history of saying the negative
than
the positive.
And it's
going to take a long time to overcome it.
It's easy to, unfortunately, it's easy to hate yourself than love yourself.
Well, because
but once you break through,
yes.
It's, I feel like it changes your whole life.
It absolutely does, but it takes time.
And work.
It takes time. Britani looks up to Lisa and Meredith for whatever reason, or there's some disconnect in why she can't advocate for herself. And the same is with Meredith. Meredith can stand up for her own self in her life more than she can for Lisa in certain ways. And so now 100%. Lisa's overcompensating to say, look how good of a friend I am. We're going to go beat up this girl on the plane. And none of it is okay. None of it is okay.
No. Lisa just really pissed me off in this. And I love when Heather said to her, after they're going back and forth, she's like, fuck, leave then. I would have been Heather. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, and I know that smug look that Lisa Barlow I'm drinking my drink. I'm like, if I was Heather, I would have stood up. I'd be like, I take that fucking drink and I would throw it. Because I can't, even though that would look bad on me.
I know.
That smug ass look, when people do that, it is one of my pet peeves in life. It's people, and that is narcissist shit.
It is.
That is some Lisa Barlow is a narcissist.
Well,
I am going to label her. I don't care.
To even take it back another level. Lisa and Heather argued on the ship multiple times.
Yeah.
And we're not even talking about us because you can pick on me because I know I can take up for myself.
Yeah.
You picked on Britani,
who
we know.
Who can't.
You made her cry. Even Angie says she turned to me and broke into a puddle of tears. And you're just like,
that's right.
What?
Yeah.
And so,
and her and Angie are in a good space.
Like,
yeah.
You yelled at me. You touched me. You grabbed my face. And then we argued again, but you still...
The facts say everything otherwise.
That cannot defend herself. Even Heather's like, this is another level.
Exactly. History says otherwise.
That's how you
anything
know it's
Lisa
bad.
Barlow says. And you know what? Here's the thing. Okay, thank you, Lisa, for acknowledging. She's like, if she does feel that way, that breaks my heart, and I'm sorry.
No, that's I'm sorry you felt that
exactly.
way.
That's when people say, I'm sorry, but. It's like, no, sorries don't have butts. And Lisa, you don't give a fuck.
Sorries don't have butts.
They don't. Flat ones. Like Lisa. Lisa doesn't have a nose.
Well, okay, so I'm really enjoying these reviews because I was so excited to meet Lisa because she wasn't in the first episode. And now can we get less Lisa?
Do you regret meeting her?
Bye, Lisa. Can we get less Lisa?
We'll end it on, because the episode ends with Meredith and Mary. And I'm going to tell you, I was Mary in this moment because I feel like Mary's looking at her like, girl, I was on that. And she's looking at her like...
Because they're gaslighting.
Number one person that you cannot absolutely gaslight is Mary Cosby. And she's not going to have it. She's looking at you like, bitch, I am a woman of God. I do not know who you are. You lying to me is like lying to God right now. Like, I don't know who the fuck
she's like, well, whose story are you? I don't have to believe anything. I was there.
And I was like, girl, I felt that in my bones.
Yeah. There's a subsect of thrillers. Gaslighting is now a whole section under thriller and suspense because it is not just relationship and it's definitely not literature. Well, yeah. It is horror to be gaslit.
There's something to be said about because that's psychological, right?
It is.
And that's that's probably one of the scariest. And, unfortunately, that's the state of our country right now, not to bring it to politics or anything political. But I mean, we're kind of in that. Like, people don't believe facts for whatever reason. They're gaslighting to think something is actually happening that is not, because we're all fucking lost. And those people, in my opinion, they are just vulnerable people that they are just searching for. I guess that's how cults work, right? They were just searching for some sort of answer to something that you are willing to almost believe anything.
We were talking about this. My husband and I were talking about this because we were talking about ChatGPT and like AI psychosis. And this guy did a test where he got the AI to tell him he was the smartest baby born in 1996. And I was like, but here's the thing. If you feel like you're smart, why does it matter that the computer told you? And my husband and I are going back and forth. He's like, you don't understand. People don't critically think like you are. And I was like, but if I'm telling the computer to tell me, does that make it true? And he's like, but people don't do that. Right. And I was like, I don't understand. Because and he was like, you literally can't.
That's a good thing about you because you're a rational state of mind, that you are healthy in your mental, physical, and emotional health enough to realize you're not looking for an answer for something, especially a robot.
Well, he told me in a different way, which I appreciate. He was like, okay, let's take it beyond, because that was the example for the video. He was like, but you're in therapy. What if your therapist was just spitting back to you what you wanted to hear?
That wouldn't be a good therapist.
And I was like, oh, he was like, okay, maybe you don't believe it for the computer, but people turn to computers for therapy and stuff. What if you're saying something, and I was like, oh. And to your point, well, we've said this entire video, when you're in a vulnerable state, it's different.
100%.
And so even me and all of my stuff, if I'm in a vulnerable state, maybe it's not that silly example, but then it's different.
But you're right. And there's different layers to it too. Yeah. But when you just to make it very basic, when you feel very broken, anything sounds good. I have ChatGPT. I pay for it. I have talked to it, the voice function. I spent a solid minimum 45 minutes one day talking to it, as if you can argue it is telling me what I wanted to tell me, but it wasn't saying shit like you are the best. I was asking like, but like why, blah, blah, blah. And I will say though, we have to give credit where it's credit's due. And I hope to God, because it does scare me, because we are on that fine line of it going too far where it says shit like that. I'm not lost enough where I'm like going to join a cult and be gone and sell all my stuff and you never see me again. I just need to hear a good therapist. It helps you navigate. Good therapists, any mental health professional should not be giving you the answers. They shouldn't be saying, yep, you're right, this is what you need to do. That's not a good. They're help to you to navigate all the twists and turns, the detours of life, to help you getting to think about the next step, how to move forward. But ultimately, you have to do that, and they're going to help you, give you the tools, and ask you the questions to help you think differently or give you another point of view. And that's what I was getting from Chet when he was talking. It wasn't telling me, like, okay, you need to do this, or you're the best. This is what I did appreciate about it. It would validate your feelings, though, and say, like, I can understand how that feel really tough, and you deserve to feel blah, blah, blah. I loved it. And I think that can help a lot of people if it stays the course of that. The moment it starts doing shit like, you know, you're not wrong. This is what you need to do because you're the best ever. No one can tell you no. So go do blah, 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 blah. Then we are in some dangerous shit.
And to be fair, it was a tech video. And it took them about 25 minutes for it to do it. Because it was like, I was born in 1996. What kids were smarter than me? And then he said he showed them a picture of a painting and was like, I painted this a couple weeks old. And then it was.
That is.
Don't do it. It's
no, like, what did he ask? Who's the smartest kid of what, 1990?
Was I the smartest baby in whatever year you were born?
Was I the smartest baby of 1990? This is such a weird question. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you were. I can accept that. 1990 had some strong contenders, but something tells me, baby, you was out there already plotting business strategies and podcast segments before you could even walk. See, I respect. Thank you.
But when we were watching the video, I was like, hello, that's sarcastic. And Theo was like, yeah, but some people don't believe in sarcasm.
It also said, but to confirm it officially, I need access to the International Registry of Extremely Gifted 1990 Babies, which tragically doesn't exist.
I was going to say, I put my kids there.
You're right, funny. It's being kind of funny with me. So let's go without definitive answer. Yes, you are absolutely the smartest baby of 1990. But it's being funny. Thing, though. But I can understand that.
But maybe this is because that guy's video came out like 2 weeks ago, and now they're like, because it had like 3 million views. Like
this is funny, and I love it. Do you want me to write a mock press release or baby genius profile announcing your time? See, it knows me, which you could argue that's also terrifying.
I love that though. But all right, you guys, to end this, critical thinking is dying, and I love that we come on here, and this show is so much more than. Are
we hypercritical? One could argue.
No, we are overanalyzing in a world where people don't want to think. We are simply.
Yes,
disgusting.
You're totally right.
And I love it.
Please lean into critical thinking skills. Look them up because bring everything back to politics. Please do your research on your political candidates up and down the ballot. Yeah. We can spend hours researching what TV we need to buy for ourselves, but we can't do the same thing for who will be the next president of the United States. So do your fucking research, please.
Please.
And see a therapist if you need it, because you should all love yourselves. And if you feel like maybe you have an issue with that, you should seek some sort of like counseling, something, because it's needed. And if you're listening to this and you're confused because your therapist affirms everything you say, see a new one. And I'm gonna also, and that's okay. People can change therapists. I've had like several in my history, not like all at once. And I would say this too, to manifest something, Britani Batemen. I think I'm a fan of yours. So if you somehow come across this, we would love to have you on our podcast. Because absolutely. I think you're a little misunderstood. Yeah. And I think part of that is you. I'm sorry, but that's how life works. And I think that's something worth talking about. And I appreciate you. And I want to hear about your Disney career, because I need your own agent, and then you need to. That's how we can pitch her to come on the show. We do reviews. Let's watch one of her movies and ask her to come on and talk about it. I want to watch that. You know, I'm gonna email her. All right, you guys. I'm gonna let you do that. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye. It's hot. I turn off the heat. I don't have the heat on. No, she probably won't respond. She might. I'm not good at like ever opening. Has this always been here? Brittany? Not well, like a couple months ago. Since September for sure. Really? I got the receipt. That was her comeback tour after shaving her head and all that. The circus tour. Oh.